asking my agent, my publicity school, what do I do now? And they say what you can't do, or what's not a good idea to do, is that if you get into a dispute, it lengthens the argument. She comes back and says this, I say that, she says that. So he said, what you should do is just apologize. But there's a key word that's left out in the quoting, as it goes around the world, at a click.
Right.
And that is, if I did anything that was, out of sorts, or I embarrassed her, I apologize. And the word if was important. Now it just says he apologizes.
Yeah, it's actually might. I mean, the intention is the same. You said, I have the utmost respect for women and feel terrible that anything I might have done could have put her in an uncomfortable situation. I'm sorry, it's not reflective of who I am.
Today. And they leave that out too.
Yeah, I know.
No, but that's the difference.
Well, it's your statement. I mean, it's that part of it. I'm not the moral arbiter of anything. It's just, it's not reflective of who I am. It's that kind of response to this stuff that pisses me off. Because it is reflective of who you were. If it happened and you've given no evidence to show that it didn't happen, then there was a period in time for a while when you were creeping around women. So it feels like a cop-out to say, well, this isn't me. Do you understand how that feels like a dismissal?
It's difficult to answer that question. You weren't there. You didn't.
I'm glad.
Well, you made a judgment. Very quick judgment. We were doing this, and to break it up, actors, people on crew know these things. You do things, you say things. So suddenly one of the things was, you come to work on Monday, did you have sex Friday? You break it up. Everyone was saying it to each other. It's a thing. But, I don't know if you've ever been in that kind of situation, but it becomes a family in which, I said a stupid thing, but I said it in the midst of the crew, and they said their stupid things, but they were sexual in terms of the humor of it. But that's 40 years ago.
I gotta say, I don't love that response either.
What response do you want? What would you have?
It's not for me to say. It feels like dismissals or recontextualizing it is not actually addressed. It doesn't feel self-reflective in the way that it seems the incident demands. The one thing I was reading, I get no pleasure from having this conversation, but you and I are not the victims here. That's the thing. So I read today her diary, and she read this one line which has been rattling around my head. She said, no one is 100% good or bad. True, right? Dustin's a pig, but I like him a lot. I mean, that is both extremely generous and damning.
Do you believe this stuff that you read?
I believe what she wrote, yes.
Why?
Because there's no point in her lying.
Well, there is a point in her not bringing this up for 40 years.
Really?
Oh, Dustin.
There isn't?
Christ.
I did not say I was groping her. We were sitting next to each other. You want to hear the story in context? We were sitting on a bed. We had tried to do a master that went on for 10 minutes, trying out for the graduate, both of us. We were told 3 days before to memorize this dialogue. I had flown out from New York. Nichols was very unhappy with the way it was going because it wasn't going well. And we're sitting there, and he's standing there, and he's like, let's try it again. And she's looking down, and she's very unhappy, and I'm very unhappy. And I'm sitting here, and she's sitting there, and I went over and I went like that. Nothing. And she was very upset, and she turned and she said, don't you ever do that to me again. And it was, I thought, an overreaction because of what was going on all day. She later apologized. We were very good friends on that film. But you take it, this is an assaulter. This is a female assaulter. He's admitted it. It's so skewed.
I mean, I don't even hear the same thing in the story that you just told, that I think you do. I think I hear her being upset at you touching her and then somehow apologising for being upset at it. But I think that I don't want to litigate every example because you're right, I wasn't there. But I guess the thing that you said there that's interesting to me is the things that we do between takes. I think it's the things that we do between takes that is probably a cultural shift that needs to happen. Because what can seem completely fine or normal to a certain group of people can have victims at the other end of it. So the things that we do between takes sounds benign if it is to you. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't, because the crew and the actors are there. We are one. We are a family. Maybe I shouldn't have said things. We're trying to break up the tension of shooting for 16 hours a day. They bring these interns on the set to watch. No one told us. No one said, oh, these girls are 17 years old. I didn't even know they were there. I really wish you would watch the documentary.
I'll watch it.
And maybe you should have watched it before you brought this up in front of 1,000